Happy Easter, everybody. So, happy Easter for real. Hope everybody's safe and hug your loved ones, call and see how everybody's doing. At least send a text message. Let somebody you know, or somebody that you love, or somebody you think love you, let them know you love them. In order to get through the current tumultuous times, we are going to need love above all else. Let me put on a little bit of music because I don't like a dry background. I am very sensitive to things and bumps. So, let's get a little jazzy. I got some jazz tracks. Let's go a little jazzy. I like jazz on Sundays. Y'all like jazz on Sundays? I like me some good jazz on a Sunday. So we'll go here, but I think I got some slower ones too. So I like to review my music as I'm talking to y'all. I was reading the book. I done had like a million thoughts since I've been sitting here, and I had to put on. This is what I don't like about this. We're so hung up that I gotta put on a little something before I get on the camera, because really I just woke up a little while ago. I went down and made a cup of coffee. It took me time to get up and down the steps. You feel what I'm saying? I gotta try not to drop the coffee. So I hope everybody's showing kindness. Let's think about the aspect of the creator. Okay? Something created this shit, and all we got to do is protect it and respect it. Anybody that believes that they're like, I had a visit the other day. I got a home visit. I'm on home visit. I'm on the home visit part of life because I can't get outside. I tried real hard to keep getting outside, but baby, I have a hard time getting outside, and I have a hard time when I'm outside. And everybody see my struggle, but they don't feel my pain. You know what I'm saying? So, it was two different things. And I never thought I'd have to get to the point where I had to tell people. Like, bitch, you can't see. I made a group called, it's on YouTube, it's on Facebook, it's called the Struggle Bus Retreats. Because it is when I was living in Arizona that I figured out that I think if you had to live like that, you'd have more respect for being homeless. If you had to live in the situations of homelessness that I have now experienced multi-state, okay? And if you had to live that way, you'd have a different perspective about being homeless. We might build different, if we actually saw and felt how that really is for people. It is not some cute stuff. It is a quite horrendous circumstance to be homeless. But hold on, y'all. I'm trying to line up the tracks. You know how I be. Trying to see what we can get to, so I can just, if I keep on doing this, I'll forget my point here. But I may jump around because I was talking about the homeless. Let's see. All right, so anyway, I had to do all this just to come on camera because we had to part our hair in the dark. We finally got a straight line here and there. But y'all, this is important. If we don't act together, you do not want to be like me in a car parting your hair in the dark. Because I'm telling you that this thing that they are calling the digital protection grid, I have experienced this. I don't know if I'm hypersensitive. I can't tell if it's ADHD and PTSD and all of that or not. because um, the way I have been feeling around, the way I've been feeling, period, it's painful. You know what I'm saying? It's painful. But they don't see nothing wrong with you. And then you got your RFK coming out. This is how this man influences my life. Let me just be honest with you. He influences my life because here he comes along talking about people my color don't have sensitivity to pain. They all think this way. I can't believe if you think this way. Like, you know, I've heard that doctors had to take oaths and police got to take oaths, but I don't understand what about that oath make them not be able to see people of color as human beings that feel. I don't think they feel. If I may humbly say, maybe you're not feeling. If you think if you think that pain is defined in any way or stands within the scope of color and race, something's wrong with you. Pain don't got nothing to do with your race. Pain got to do with your experience of pain. And what I have seen and experienced is that people who are dealt pain, something that's painful, now whether this pain is physical or mental or whatever, emotional, the younger they are, the more traumatizing that pain has to do with trauma, okay? Because I think it's the same almost, right? For me, that's what I'm thinking. But I think that the more that pain is trauma, I'm still trying to get these songs here, y'all. So, but then that is the circumstance where this person has now experienced pain very early in life. And that means that when you get 16 and you endure pain, you handle it different than those who haven't experienced pain that early. This is can I be the Department of Health and Human Services when we get this fucking shit back together? Can somebody call me up so I can get with the CRISPR machines and try to fix what's getting fucked up right now? Are we thinking this way as a people? We're going to have to at least rebuild ourselves. Because bitches, I can't even believe these circumstances and situations are. Hold on, let me get to my jazz songs and we're going to keep on rolling. I don't even know what this one was. Oh yeah, I did make that. I'm getting like Prince over here, like, oh, I forgot I made that. I don't know, but I feel like I found the secret to the secret sauce. Like, I feel like I've stumbled upon the secret sauce. But for the longest, I couldn't figure out how, like, really to fully craft the song. That's because I got the secret sauce. Everybody has a secret sauce. But anyway, I don't know, y'all. I don't know what I was just ranting about. Oh, look here. I just might have been too far. No, I can't. See my stuff all over the place. Okay. Man, y'all. I don't know. Alright, this might be one. I don't know. Version. Why can't I? Why are those pills during the night? Try to forget. Yes, even this type of music. Because you need this. And I just bought my saxophone, and so I had to make me some nice, you know, melodious music to be able to play my saxophone to, you feel me? Like, they made us do stage band in school. But shit, you know, whatever. When you, like I talked about before, I feel like they should have had me on drums like I wanted. You know what I'm saying? I really think that particular school that we was in, I think what they did was they tried to set us up so that we looked pretty for them. And I was always a big girl, so they had me just hiding behind. Well, I hid behind the stand. I really didn't want to be seen all that much, like all that. I practiced, but I was playing basketball. I was at the center. That's the thing about learning instruments. You got to sit in one place, and I ain't want to sit at home. You know what I'm saying? I always want to be out, and I'm saying that the kindest way I can. You know how it is. It get crowded when it be a lot of people in the crib. You know what I'm saying? And a lot for me is a little. So, um, uh, yeah, we're just going through a lot as a country, and I think it's gonna take love. I think that's how we get through this is togetherness. And so I was thinking like having parties. You know what I'm saying? Because we got this line dance thing going on. We should have parties. And you know what I'm saying? Still get together with your loved ones because how I'm feeling about this is this thing that they calling, I think that first, I think that first deal when we first dealt with the the CV back during his first administration, I think that was a test run for what they're doing now. It was to see if we would be compliant. You know what I'm saying? Would we just how off the hook were we? Who was where? Who was the threat? But the problem was the threat was being perceived not as an actual threat to our democracy, but but a threat to him to the person that was in office at that time. You know what I'm saying? When that first jumped off, and he played dumb really well. I remember that time they had him on stage talking about you should have told us, and I'm like he ain't know either. Well, fuck, how did we get in the house then? And they're in the house. I ain't in the house. Did y'all notice that? That it wasn't us in the house. It was it wasn't it was the poor people that was outside in the shit. Fuck. Now I get it. Now I think I get it. Because okay, so when how can I tell y'all this? Do your research. You can just do your research even on YouTube, but just think about the things you got to know about the new technologies to figure out where we're going. And to figure that out, you're gonna want to know about certain stories that have come out yesterday about certain companies that I mentioned in my video from last night. So go to that video because I'm not repeating it here. Um, so go there and learn about the new technologies, right? And then what you're gonna have to do is cross-reference that with like who was out, because if anything was being done, the people that were out would be the most affected. And then on this, I guess, enactment of that type of behavior, because all of this now is all rounding us all up. So because they're snatching women off the streets. I don't understand why she was supposed to have to go back to somewhere, Vermont or something upstate. I didn't get that part. But to take a woman off the street, like, where are we going, man, with this? Who's the new threat? Are those people aliens or something and y'all scared to tell us? Because you gotta understand that if you can't prove that somehow these people is some weird people or something's really happening here, then you are, and okay, see, I can't get with it. I gotta stop myself right there. And I apologize. My disability is, I make excuses for people, I guess. Or I accept bad behavior. I don't know what I don't know what I would call it. I can't surmise it into a few, words. But I have a lot of things. But I make excuses. Like I try to always see the good in somebody or what they're doing. But see, the downside is this, sir, affecting my life only. You may think your people and your supporters may think that something's wrong with those people. But where I have to draw the line with you is you are destroying my ancestors and my grandparents, my like their achievements. You're erasing the history of my people, and we don't even like each other. So, and I'm still standing up for us. Like, you know what I'm saying? It ain't none of them here right now viewing what I'm saying. But that doesn't mean that because we haven't gotten along or because whatever, however we've dealt with your shit. But so however we've dealt with that, I don't appreciate the achievements of my people being erased. I really, really don't. I can't. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I do. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm tired of. I'm tired of acting like it's okay. See, we've been acting like it's okay. I feel like I've been acting like it's okay. It's okay for you to make racist jokes against me at work or say racist things about threatening my life with these jobs. That's okay. We walk around with this. And then I be then y'all wonder why we won't go to your doctors. You part of a system that's helping beat us down. And then under these oaths of being doctors and being police, you somehow still are able to. That's one of the I don't know what they saying because I don't speak Spanish, but I can make Spanish songs. You just gotta anyway. But yeah. Anyway, so let's see, here's another one. Let me see if I can get this one. That's some kind of revolutionary song or something. I don't know. I just had to experiment a little bit, see if it could be done. Really, like I got some real songs dissing this dude. I don't know when I'm gonna play it. I gotta hold this album. You know, if this was called Love, I could make a whole song, a whole album called Hate, and all the songs would be about him in some fucking way. I could because if you're ever gonna express hate and love, which are supposed to be the same on some frequencies, the best way to do it is with some fucking beats behind you. Trust me that. That's how I feel about it. I'm sorry, y'all. Alright, so let me give you. I always like to give you some visuals because this is about visuals. Why not be, entertained a little bit when you look at the screen? This is something you could play in the background. You know what I'm saying? But I plan on overlaying my saxophone on all of these. And what I really want, if you feel like the type of person that would like to contribute to my GoFundMe or my SoundCloud so that I can get up and try to perfect my craft some more, because for real, like I said, this having a disability and trying to do this stuff is difficult, especially when you're in a system that doesn't want to support you and doesn't want to acknowledge your disability. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been going through it and I could never tell, like, is it due to is something happening in my life, like what these stars be complaining about now. But see, they're the ones doing it. Y'all know that shit is so deep. Like, the stars be complaining they getting gang stalked. The first one that sticks out to me is that one dude that always that played the crazy guy on Men in Black. Okay, Dennis something or something. He was the first one that stood out to me that was saying the stuff, right? And I was sitting there like, man, like, and then it started to be like Cat Williams and Martin, you know what I'm saying? But I think and then like Prince was always on it to a degree, right? Like, really, to appreciate Prince's music more now, I need an overlay of him and his interactions or connection with Diddy. I'm really gonna need that. But anyway, that's just to appreciate it more. And don't worry, y'all, I'm gonna get to Kim Porter's book. My intention was to do like a yes, this one too. I really look forward to putting some jazz like saxophone over this. But when I did this and it was around Christmas time. And I wanted a song that was going to be, something I could listen to and just have like the snow behind me and really enjoy my time in the car because I was driving so much, you know what I'm saying? And I couldn't see y'all. I'll be starting off with the first song I wanted to play today um, was Two Left Contacts, which is getting some good. It's coming up quite a bit. Like I think Two Left Contacts is the thing out of all the years I've been on the internet trying to promote myself in any way. It is the thing that is reflecting the most plays. You know what I'm saying? Like I've never had almost 3,000 plays on anything, or the most likes or hits or shares even. I've never had 3,000 nothing, and it's almost up to 3,000. That's why I be looking at people's stuff like, hey, this nigga got 35,000 likes. I'm not buying shit. I can't afford to buy nothing. This is why you can look at my numbers and assume that they are real. And then when I do start being popular on anything, all of a sudden that thing goes away. I started being popular on MySpace, and MySpace got bought out by Carl Icahn, and then Carl Icahn went through it and fucked it all up because we had got to the point, and my kids showed me this. We got to the point where we was coding on MySpace. We was coding the background pages ourselves and changing the whole MySpace look. And it was a simple code, and all you had to do was copy and paste that motherfucker. And you could change the background of your MySpace and have it like nobody else's MySpace. And you know how I be with the graphics. I be on the graphics, like for real. So mine looked this sweet. It really did look sweet. But yeah, y'all. Alright, so I'm about to get into the Kim Porter book here. I'm pretty much done playing. Well, let me see if I'm gonna try to pull it up so to show on the on the screen so y'all can see this lady read the book. Every point that I started, this is why I call it my ADHD broadcast. I'm gonna just be serious about me in life. You feel me? Because I can't walk around acting like I'm like y'all. Obviously, I'm not. And maybe I never was, but I noticed it more. I noticed it more just when I started experiencing things people around me really wasn't experiencing. Like, seriously, they looking at me like, what the fuck? She noticing the helicopter. She noticing every this. You know what I'm saying? And that's because the vibration started bothering me, the sound, the light. I thought I was turning a fucking vampire. And here it is, I just got some kind of acronym. And I'm like, damn, that's all it was? Like, y'all had me freaking out because the information out there leads you to believe that something is happening in your environment, like it has to do with the digital protection grid being installed around you. Whereas I was just like, I didn't know what it was. Alright, y'all. Give me one moment. I'm just going to add this here. And then we are actually going to do this. Damn. We can't have two presenting. Damn, that's crazy. I have two people, but I can't have two presentations. Let me see. Just can't see. The hell am I? Nope, don't know what that was. Alright, so let's see if we can find this lady. Alright, we're about to do something. Hang on. Because my computer's slow and old. It's like, what's that song? Let it flow. Let yourself go. Slow and low. My computer is slow and low. I'm going to call it slow and low. Slow and low. That is the tempo. Let it flow. I'm about to put it on here. Slow computers now called. Slow and low, that is the tempo. Let it flow, let yourself go. Slow and low, that is the tempo. Oh, that might be a whole new song, y'all. I'm trying to tell you. You might see that one up here next. Slow and low, that is the tempo. And I had decided also to go jazz because jazz is it don't have a it doesn't have really an age to it. I was talking, I think in yesterday's video or one of these recent past videos, how jazz doesn't really apply an age. I can tell all y'all is at church. I usually at least get one person in here. I ain't had nobody yet, but it's all good. That's one thing, you know. It'll still be here. And it's timeless. It's timeless because this case, if I talk about the Diddy stuff, when I put the book up, this case is going to take 4 years. I'm not lying. The case is going to take a long time. It's already been a year. That's one of the years. Look, and like I was talking about yesterday, I've seen our brothers show empathy as they're reading the information and hearing about this case. They can't help it. They're like, man. Because inside, they hate to see someone like themselves. Or they are somehow affected. I'm trying to tell you. The content creators, listen. And maybe I'm just that messed up. Okay? For real. The people who really are struggling and are content creators, you'll notice, I don't think any of them that I chose on my first review of content creators, I haven't figured out how to do TikTok on here, so, but I did the video on TikTok, but I don't think any of the content creators that I had chose to review at that time, I don't think that any of them are really truly in. I'm sorry to judge, but I don't think of them. They're really struggling too much because this platform to run it alone is $35 a month, somewhere like that, and so that's a lot to me. I don't know how people are surviving. I'm having such a hard time. I've been having a hard time. That's why I be like, I call everybody normies and everybody different because that ain't my experience. Like at one time I was floating along just fine, but once this disability stuff and all that came in, and I started honestly moonwalking backwards is what I've been doing, not on purpose, just because I am struggling that much and I need some extra support. And like I said, you know, I feel like people in the African American community really don't get it. You know what I'm saying? They really don't understand. And this construct that we live in keeps us so living paycheck to paycheck that we can't really help one another. It would make our shit fall off if we help someone else. Now, here's what I see on YouTube first. I want to show my intro page to YouTube. And I guess I gotta sign in. Damn. I don't think I gotta sign in. I just gotta look for the video. But I'm gonna show you on my YouTube page when I log in. Let me pull this over here first. Oh, I think I just did it. Let me see if that's showing up the way I want it to. Yeah, it is. Alright, so we can roll with it that way. I'm cool with that. So I want you to notice, Okay. Now look at this. It's gonna move when I already touched it. This is what I'm saying. Now here's the problem. Here's the problem with him. This one here, this guy, and the problem with the this guy, and the problem with these words, F-I here, okay? Because these guys, you are these guys. So how the hell are these guys gonna investigate you, especially in the current circumstance? We don't look like this. Says we are not. Man, look, I always been taught to play by the rules, man. Okay, so all I'm saying is, in this case, how can the place you work for investigate you? In all fairness, so he's already got off with that. I don't know what these people have over these judges. I feel like it has to be something, because there's no way I could be a judge in this country without you telling me that this person is an outright alien of a species from another planet that intends upon destroying our whole earth. That is the only way I would agree with you. And then I would make you prove it in court. Like, okay, we'll make them change. Make them change into an alien right here in the courtroom. That's what you would have to do to convince me that it's okay to take somebody. And then I'll be like, no, you need to call his planet up, and you need to tell them to come down here and get him, because he causing mischief, and we don't play that here. That is how my intergalactic Earth would work. But no, you are taking people, women also, up off the street and putting them in this Jackie Chan jail. And I'm saying, listen, you're going to have to go watch them old karate movies to understand why I call that. Because I ain't seen never nothing like that since. I ain't never ever seen that in a movie like that. No. Not what they showing on the TV. And then I said in my other video, why did he have the hat on? Why did he have the hat on and the shirt? It was too off-putting. It was too distracting. I think they doing something to the men's heads. I think they are the first guinea pigs for the chip implant. That's my overreacting, irrational ADHD, PTSD perspective on what the fuck. This guy right here is also supposed to be a CI. He the op. He is the op. He worked for the ops the whole time. How are they going to convict him? Something's going to go crazy here. But he's definitely goddamn guilty. He definitely is guilty. That's how I'm feeling about that. He's a guilty dude. In my own personal perspective, okay, and let me go find you a whole new banner. Let me get you a whole new banner, Pimper. Hold up. Because we are prepared. Let's play that one. Okay? Because I do not know nothing. I don't know these people. Oh my gosh. I don't know these people from Adam's house cat. Okay? I did not ask to be born at a time when you all decided to be born and doing all this shit. You are here on the same planet that I occupy doing this shit, and I'm going to address it. That's where we're at with the circumstance, okay? That's how I feel about it. So let's let him restart. We're going to take some of my pages down and give somebody some ease of whatever. And then we're going to get started with, yeah, because we're cool over here now. Let me figure out what this book was called. And then we got Ken's Lost Words. I think it's part of the title. Hold on, y'all. I got to figure out who I was watching. You done broken down in chapters.
When I met Sean, he was cool. I didn't think much of him at the time. He was just another guy who lived in. Uptown was huge, and we were all living our good life. But Sean continued to
Cecelia, Jamelia, or something like that.
As a young single mom, at one of the hottest companies in the world, life couldn't get any better than it did. my boyfriend was getting even bigger. He and Clive would hang out a lot, but I didn't think anything of it. I mean, that was his boss, and he was doing things bigger than most men dare to even drink. Then it happened. I mean,
Sorry.
okay, I was a little bit.
Oh, Cecily.
I'm tearing down the ties that keep me in this place. Your words were changed. Your touch is cursed. It felt so sweet.
I need freedom now, baby.
But baby, I need freedom now. I've got to find my
Free me all up.
free me from the love that's tied me down. I break these bonds, no longer bound. It's time to let the past fade to black. I'm not looking back, no, I'm not looking back. So take my heart, believe my soul. You can't control me anymore.
So this is, I will go as far as to try to make a song be something that is necessary for me to move on. And sometimes moving on is so hard, and I have gone through the depths. So I made this to myself. This is not to someone else, it's to, like, I have to let it be. Not them. I have to let it be because I'll be off the hook. Alright, can't pour this wood. I do be off the hook. Because of that. I think it's because of the ADHD and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, so people can let go really easy. And it's really hard for me to let go. Like, it really be extra hard. For them, it's extra fucking easy. They like, you know what I'm saying? And then I'll be like, you know.
So take my heart, believe my soul. You can't control me anymore. I speak the words that set it free. This love is gone as history. Oh baby, it's over.
See, this is another reason my channel is for people with disabilities. So you gonna see the words on the screen. That's for your for your hearing impaired. You're gonna hear it. This will be for your visually impaired. And for you people who are emotionally impaired, I'm about to give you an emotional reaction to this book being read by Cecily Daily on YouTube. Now let me see if I can get that bird thing to play. Stop that. We'll go back and turn that on. Alright, hang on, y'all. And I'm trying to do the setup here. Squeeze it out. And then we gotta give you some volume somehow. Alright.
Some celebrities, performers, and events.
I will be stopping to make commentary. This is why I put it up.
Nature. At some point in the future, this information will be revealed to the public regarding Kim's sudden death and the mysterious illness of Elvis Shur and Jamie Foxx. Evidence does exist that points to foul play and or poisoning. God bless Kim Porter and all of Sean Combs' victims, both male and female. Okay, y'all, here's the table of contents. We can start with Chapter 1, Introduction. Soon after high school, I started landing modeling jobs. I couldn't believe it. It was all happening so fast. I met my husband.
Please subscribe to Cecelia, Jamelia on TV on YouTube. She did an excellent. Hold on, let me stop right here for the ADHD. This is why I decided to make this, okay? Because people who have ADHD, I'm sorry, let me hold on, y'all. I'm sorry. Actually, I'm gonna stop and do a sound check and let her talk a minute.
A man whom I
Hold on. After I say
but eventually feared and hate. I don't want to put the
okay. Damn it, I forgot. let her talk and do my sound check, and then I'll be back. So
Probably
everybody
for
at
the
church,
But I
happy
will say,
Easter. Everybody
although
that
I
couldn't
knew
get
what was
there,
going on,
this is
I
church.
turned a blind eye many times.
Feel me?
I have to tell the
This
truth.
is church.
Unfortunately,
Come on in.
because deep down,
Everybody, ushers, you don't got to even be here. Ushers, you do not have to collect money. But if people have something to donate to church, then
this story must
you can go to the Cash App or the GoFundMe. I got my story right there. It's all real, dog. All right, y'all.
I was born to loving parents, Jake Porter and Sarah L. Porter, in the Peach State of Georgia. All through Columbus High School, where I graduated in 1988, I knew I was going to be famous. In the 10th grade, one of my best friends, Tina, said to me, "You won't make it here in Georgia." I knew if I really wanted to be famous, I would have to leave my hometown, my home, Georgia. That conversation was so important as I look back now. It changed my life. I met Al while I was working in the industry. He was so dope and charming, and I had such a crush on him. We were married before I knew it, and Quincy was on the way. But I was young, and it just felt like
See it say it's live, but I don't believe it.
It was a little heated between us after we separated.
That's how I feel.
But we got past that quickly. He is just a super dope guy and an amazing father. Though we separated, we are forever bonded through Quincy. Thank you, Al. I will always love you. When I met Sean,
some churches up.
I didn't think
They calling it Resurrection
just
Sunday.
another guy at the label. Uptown was huge.
The churches on
and we were
YouTube
all
is calling it
living our best
Resurrection
lives.
Sunday. There's
So Sean continued to
Ebenezer
lay on the
ATL.
Before I knew it, we were dating.
Hold on.
As a young
I just want to advertise some churches real quick. My cousin has a church. I just, can we take time out for the Lord? For the Lord, as interpreted by our familial and cultural pastors.
Okay, I was a little bit of a freak. I really enjoyed myself.
We're going to take time out real quick, y'all.
But I never imagined
Consider it
having a man
a commercial.
asked me to use a toy on him.
I'm going to go back. I promise.
He would just
Okay.
want to experiment.
So let's do. Well, actually, it might take a minute to get to my cousin's church, but there's a church on Facebook called. If I change the thing, then y'all know it's not gonna go like it's too much for me right now. All right. For some reason, I see a commonality of them calling it Resurrection Sunday and not just like Easter Sunday. I think maybe the black churches are doing it that way for a reason. So when I typed in on YouTube, I don't know what, I think I just went to my home on YouTube, but things that are not on my, wow. What? That's crazy. Okay, the first thing that came up on my page is absolutely bizarre, but it's from Times of India, and I can't read it. I can't read it right now. This says, reflections from the armchair every Sunday. They do Magister Clavus is live with his reflections from armchair. Black Star Roland Martin is on live. Let's see. All right, so New Birth MBC is live. I don't know. Is New Birth? I think New Birth is one of them one kind of churches, right? They got 14,000 people watching for their Sunday worship live from New Birth. They should have put something Easter on there. You got the Potter's House is live. Ain't that one dude? The Potter's House of Dallas. Sunday morning service at the Potter's House. It's 11 o'clock somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Don't Count Me Out. Sunday worship service. Dr. Kevin Johnson is on with 1.5 thousand watching. I am a reviewer. Like, that's what got me on YouTube. Like, I review other content creators. This is what I kind of do. And it's for, like, consistency. Like, once you watch all these cats, you can really get an idea. Like, I think that's why I was pointing out the whole thing about people and how, like, if you've been doing this and you got $35 a month, That means you also have at least $50 a month for internet. You have a good computer. I'm not, because I don't review no content creators that really be on no scrubby shit. You know what I'm saying? So, like, because that's what's not attractive. You got to really be talking some good shit, not to have a halfway decent setup. And a halfway decent setup is going to cost you $35 for the platforms to do it. Then it's gonna cost you $50 for your internet. You're gonna be paying at least $50 a month for your bill, but then you also have a place in which to do it in that's quiet. So you either live by yourself or you live with people that you can have out of your home. And so what are you paying there? $1,400 a month, $1,200 a month, unless you live in a home with your parents, which really means you a scrub like me. I ain't here to judge though, you know what I'm saying? But don't judge me. That's all I'm saying, for real, for real. Don't judge me either. So you got to be a little bit set up to have been doing this. And the people that I review, I feel like, we want to, well, all I'm saying is there's a lot of Sunday worshiping going on right now. I think you just type in Easter. Most of these people are African American. This lady got 30 people watching Bethesda Healing Center YouTube channel. So she got on so her people can watch. Let me see if I can get my cousin stuff to come up, y'all. Give me 1 second, please. All right, we're gonna let her read a little bit more, and then I'm probably gonna put my cousin in the screen somewhere, and just use her for my commercials. That way, if you'd like to see her content or hear a different Easter message, feel free to do so. If you are a pastor and you like for me to share you on my page for Sunday, I can do so. Just reach out to me. You are getting more views than I would probably right now, but I can help promote you because it's about cross promotion. I have worked in tech support enough to know that the way the internet works, the more linkage you have, the more you're going to get seen. And you want to know how to link that. So I do know how to do it, but you need a network of people to really make it effective. We should do the history of the black church because the history of the black church is important. It really is. All right, I'm going to let her finish and I'm going to find my cousin.
That's something new. I was forced out, but he kept begging. He said it would only be this one time, and he was just curious. I was only 20 at the time. As I said, what the hell? I hated it. He fled from it, and there was shit on it. I left him alone after that. Girl, Lord. Okay, chapter 3, second chances. Sean kept reaching out.
That's her talking to herself. That girl, Lord.
Eventually, in a few weeks, we ran into each other at an event. He came over and sat next to me. We were cordial. He flattered me by saying, "You look so amazing." I replied with a simple, "Thanks, Sean." I tried to get up to leave, but he pulled me by my arm. So as I turned to him, he looked deep into my eyes and said, "Look, what happened between us is weird, but I really care about you. Can we?" He paused. I tried.
I took two things that
All right, when they play their commercials,
and I made them
all I do is this. It might be
Hi,
just like
I'm
3
Ronnie.
seconds.
I'm the owner of Tickle Dog, and I
If
teach
it
people
ain't,
all
then
over the world how to
I'll
dance with your dogs on my website.
Okay.
I was searching for a platform where I can really manage my business, a place that can help me share my knowledge.
Anyway, y'all.
Can we? He paused. I tried to use this.
I still haven't done my sound check.
I pulled my hand back and said, "Sorry, Sean, I have to go. Please, I think I'm falling in love with you. Can we talk?" My breath was taken away. Did he say he loved me? It was so fast. I wasn't aware of this as his manipulation tactic. Not yet. God, I was so young and naive. He continued, "Let's just have dinner," and I fell for it. 2 days later, we went for a drink at a lounge in Lower Manhattan. The place was nice. Sean was really coming up and pulling out all the stops to impress me. He pulled out my chair for me to sit. Back then, he was always a gentleman. He smiled and he said, "Look," as he sat across from me. I hated it, and I never want to do it again. "Give me another chance." Over coffee the next morning, I decided to give him another chance. For the next year and a half, things seemed pretty normal. It was fun. Things were going great, and we were living the dream that I thought I dreamt.
My bad, y'all.
Things could not be more amazing. Then he asked me to do it again. It was insane. Sean said, "Baby, I can't stop thinking about it." "What the hell are you talking about?" I responded. Sean continued, "I just can't stop thinking about that night. It's amazing. Can he screw me one more time, please?"
Check.
I became infuriated. "Why don't you just go to Clive? He's the one screwing you, isn't he?" Oh my God. Then Sean hit me. This was the first time, but he slapped me hard. Before I could form words, he began to beg. I'm sorry." Holding my cheek where he hit me, I turned and ran off. That should have been it, but I guess I'm a glutton for punishment. He sent flowers and a bunch of expensive gifts. Then we bumped into each
Okay,
other
I got
at
it.
another industry
This
event.
is the part where
Sat
I
down next
kind
to
of
me.
want to
This was deja vu. Sean
stop.
started. "Imagine running into you here." "Get the fuck away from me," I forced out. He became more.
All right, and the reason I want to stop here is because this is where he hit her. And as far as I can tell, this is the first time that he hit her. But remember, we learned later that this guy had a habit of knocking women out in college, and it don't. I don't think it starts there. Like when you start putting the oh man, the mom aspect in this and the possibility of her career, he could have been a heavy hand for his mom, reinforcement for his mom. Like I think she might have a lot to do with this, and I that's not to speak bad about mothers. I'm just talking about this book today because, like I said, this is my first time I'm getting to really review it. So this is the first time in the book that he hit her.
Serious as he said, "Look, baby, I'm sorry, but," I just glared at him. "There's nothing you can ever say to me. Nothing." After awkward silence, he finished, "You know I love you. I love your son. He's my son. I don't know how to fix this, but I'll do anything. I'm sorry." Shit, he can be so sweet. Here we go with the love thing. This time, it's not
Sorry.
falling in. He was great with Quincy, and to be honest, despite everything, I missed him. As he stood to walk away, I remember hearing myself say, "Call me later." What the fuck was wrong with me? Chapter 4 is forgiveness. Sean arrived with flowers in hand. He wanted to see Quincy. He was so good with him, and Quincy ran over to hug him. I felt my heart.
Who could have thought that this simple ear trick could help fight off dementia? Did you know that memory loss is not a condition of the mind?
Sorry, y'all. All right. So the reason why I'm doing this, y'all, is because my bad.
Does he want butt plugs? He slapped the shit out of me. So what? Everything. I missed
I'll tell you
him
later.
as he stood to walk away. I remember hearing myself say, "Call me later." What the fuck was wrong with me? Chapter 4 is forgiveness. Sean arrived with flowers in hand. He wanted to see Quincy. He was so good with him, and Quincy ran over to hug him. I felt my heart melting. He asked Quincy, "How you doing, Tiger?" Quincy looked so innocent as he responded, "I'm good. I miss you." Sean's response sounded genuine. "I miss you too. We'll hang out tomorrow, okay?" "Okay." Sean gave him a little love tap on the butt. "It's bedtime." Quincy replied, "Okay, good night," as he turned to head toward his room. Here was the man I fell in love with. But what was I thinking? Shit, not only does he want butt plugs, he slapped the shit out of me. So why am I still talking to him? They say love is blind, but is it stupid too? As Quincy left, Sean looked at me and smiled. "Baby, let's go have some fun. The babysitter is on the way." I just want to show you a good time. I was so mad at myself for melting as I said, okay. We sat on the couch laughing, genuinely having a good time when the doorbell rang. The babysitter had arrived, and so we left. As we exited the house, a big man climbed out of the limo and opened the door for us. He wore a sharp suit with a gun noticeably tucked under his arm. I thought to myself, could have made it invisible, or did he want me to see it? Despite my reservations, Gene was a sweetheart. He was very courteous and polite. As he tipped his head and said, "Good evening, ma'am," Gene drew a smile out of me as I responded, "Hello." Gene and I would see each other a lot after this day. Gene is the guy that you see speaking out against Diddy. He's been talking about that for years, so he is definitely an ally. Moving on to chapter 5, Sean kneels. The year passed, and thankfully, we didn't have many bad arguments. Although Sean was strangely getting into voodoo, he would put curses on people, and I wasn't sure how to respond to that craziness.
There's the voodoo part that I had mentioned the other day in the other video, I think last night.
Problem as a single mother was I wanted to be married. Girl, what a contrasting statement. He always had excuses and delays
I don't
when it
know
came
if
to marriage
that's
to marriage.
Kim Porter
The
talking to
label
the
was blowing
reader.
up, Biggie dropped, and it was just about to be over. He also signed Mary J. Blige, and of course, when I found out that he slept with her, we fought. He claimed it was a mistake, and my stupid ass took him back. Again, Sean asked me for a threesome with her. At first, I was mad, but Mary was beautiful. It was our first threesome, and I loved it. Mary was sexy.
Hold
I would
up.
not be doing this a lot, but it was so hot.
Their first threesome was with Mary J. Blige. This is why Mary J. Okay, when the Mary J. Blige first came out, right, in my reality, like she was stud. To me, she dressed stud a little bit. She even acted stud. Her mannerisms was stud. You know, like a tomboy. You feel what I'm saying? And yeah, so that's interesting. So you be wondering, I'll be wondering, like, okay, in the video, you know how, because it was a video, whatever the first video was, where she was b-boy dressed, you know what I'm saying? I think that, wow, like, ooh, what if we'd have got the details? Okay, I'm sorry, because it's about the kids. It really is. I'm sorry, but just like if that was singular, it would be interesting to know. Backdrop. What's some details, girl?
I was young and exploring my sexuality was enticing. I'll just throw in the allegedly on this because, whoa. Over the years, we brought other women into our bedroom periodically, and we were happy. That is until one day I came home into a situation that went from awkward to a nightmare. Quincy was with the babysitter, and Sean was sitting with Albie Sure at the dinner table. I had a child with Al, and Sean with...
Do you have old pictures on your PC or smartphone?
They gonna keep on doing that because y'all know what I'm doing. Alright, let me see if I can. I'll skip when I can. I did say this was going to be discombobulated, right? We done missed some words. You know, if y'all want to hear it like uninterrupted, you can go to her channel. I don't mind. I'm kind of doing it as a promotion.
After a couple of drinks.
But
I remember him saying, "It's still weird seeing you with my friend, but you're happy, so I'm happy for you guys."
This is what Al
responded, "Thanks, man. Me and you shared so much." Al replied, "Cool, word." The conversation took an odd and awkward...
Look, so y'all know she got different people. I think she got different people, different parts of the book. I also think that if you upload the book into some sort of AI, that it will finish the book for you. Just because of what I heard other people say, I think it finishes the book for you. Like it fills in what's not there because it it might be able to access all parts. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? It would depend on the AI. I don't know, y'all. All right, let's move on. Let her talk. Let her cook.
Awkward. How would it affect Quincy? I think that's a great thing to think about. Think about your child. Because, whoa. So I asked, are you both sure? I imagine both of them inside of me. I knew this would be awkward sexually. There'd be some bumping of genitals. Whoa. But what happened next, I couldn't imagine in my wildest dreams. It says Al, and then there's like X, 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 X. I couldn't believe it. I stood there in shock. But when Sean X, X, and X, and X, I ran out of the room. This was too much. I couldn't. Sean called out to me, oh, come on, Kimmy. They didn't chase after me. They X, X, and X. I couldn't get the image out of my mind.
They stayed in the room together.
But that wouldn't be the last time I saw Sean in the compromising position.
She ran out the
not
room.
By a long shot. One day I found the vault where he kept all his encounters with men. And yes, he kept a record of it. But that's for later. Pause. I do know or have heard, I'll be sure says that this has nothing to do with him. He has never been in that position. Okay, starting with chapter 6.
She said she ran out the room,
y'all. Called Biggie took over East Coast rap, and
if she ran out the room, then they was in the room together, and that's why he wanted the book taken down. That had to be it right there.
That orchestrated it. He hired
I just never listened to this because I ain't having enough time, y'all. I was really trying to eat.
To teach Chris how to flow and write lyrics. He hired the best producers to do the beats, although he took credit for them, and the music was unstoppable. At this point, Sean was sleeping with all the power players and everyone that wanted to do music, wanted to be a bad boy. Sean wheeled and dealed in a way that would have been unthinkable to many. He slept with guys that really control the music to stay on top. A lot of names average people have never heard of. These are the guys that make the decisions on who is winning and who is not. He hosted parties that were just fancy names for orgies, and everyone wanted in. When I met Tupac, Sean and I had an open relationship, and yes, I slept with Pac. He was sexy. Sean didn't mind, well, not until he tried to get Pac to join us. Pac was not good with that. This is where their relationship became strained.
So Tupac, it sounds like, was with her, and that was the person she didn't mind. Because it comes out later that when he starts dating J-Lo, and then she wants to also date other people, that boy, this is a big situation of your sperm's not getting along, because y'all know that it's like 3 types of sperm cells, right? And so the ones that actually go for the football, go in and take the touchdown, those ones are not the ones that's like, you got some killer sperm cells too. And I think, within this young lady, and your inner, anyway, this lady, both of them sperm cells was fighting inside of her, and they got to the point where they started fighting outside of her. One didn't want the other to be there. Okay? And it sounds like the interaction with Pac, maybe why Pac is the thin blue line, is because he was the first one. It sounds like he was the first one. No. Because he didn't ever want. Oh, he was the first one that was inside of Kim, but also wouldn't also be inside of him. And maybe that's what really got him mad. Like, you ain't gonna give me the D. You gonna get the D to my girl. You ain't gonna give me no D. Like, for real. This man, because all his attacks, that at least the ones that have come out, like in the media and being read also on YouTube, those are attacks from people who either knew something or had said something about him being involved with Pac's unaliving. That's what I'm seeing here. Alright, let's move on.
Pac wasn't going to accept Sean's advances. Pac was not gay, and he was pissed about his advances. We were all in Sean's house. I was drinking, they were smoking, and everyone was relaxing. Sean came in on what I was sure he would call a smooth approach. "Our baby is bad, isn't she?" Puck threw me a sly smile. "Hell yeah." I felt myself blush. Sean was now in full swing. "Think you hit it harder than me?" I couldn't believe he disrespected me in that way. I was not playing with my response. "Sean, what the fuck?" Puck came to my rescue, or my defense rather. "Damn, bro. You ain't got to do a sister that way." Tupac appeared upset behind Sean's words, but Sean went in for the kill regardless. "I think my dick's bigger than yours. I bet I can make her come faster than you. What's up?" Pac was appalled. "What the fuck are you talking about, nigga? I ain't trying to run no fucking train." Sean continued. "What are you scared of? Let's see who fucks better. Let her be the judge." Yes, at this point we're inviting others into our bed for a while, but I am not used to and will not stand for disrespect. I wasn't the only one upset. Pac shouted, "Nigga, you talking about pulling your fucking dick out?" Sean was undaunted. "What, you scared?" Tupac simply left, which is the right thing to do.
He just left. He ain't say shit. He just walked out.
Things were contentious.
That's what
then.
it is.
You think?
He like to control. Did he like to
be in the
control
same
people?
room?
And anybody that leaves, you ain't got no fucking control over
When they
them.
did bump
That's what
into
that
each other,
is.
the tension was palpable. It felt like blows could be thrown at any moment.
Palpable.
Months passed with only the tension between them. It was uncomfortable, but nothing like life or death. Then one day, while we were at the studio, it happened. I walked into Sean's office and he was having the conversation. Sean sat across from Jimmy Henchman. "Don't leave that fucking studio alive." I don't think I was supposed to hear it. I continued as if I didn't. "Hey, Sean." "Good morning, Jimmy." They didn't seem to think I heard anything. "I'm ordering breakfast." Smiling, Sean replied first, "Let me get eggs, sunny side up, and grits, and orange juice." I could see he was hungover. Good. I don't want him knowing I know anything.
He wanted her
If
to
he
hear
just
that
put a hit
because
out on
I
Pop,
think
knowing
he
something
also
could be
wanted
dangerous.
to have something
Jimmy,
over her,
apparently not hungry,
like
said
straight up.
nothing for me. As he stood up to
As a
exit the
reason.
room, he said to Sean, "Let's
Okay,
make that
I think
happen."
in the back
He
of
nodded
his
to me and
head,
said,
just like
"Tim,
most stupid
always a
gangsters,
pleasure." With a wink to
also
me and a nod to Sean, he
other
turned
lives
and
lady
walked out.
days being
Jimmy was a
with,
part
you
of
know
our
what I'm saying?
intimate
Like, oh,
circle.
you got
I
to
went
go
on
to the
as nothing
motherfucker,
was
you did this
happening.
back to
I'll make
me
the call now.
back
I
in
smiled as I
1932.
left.
I remember that time you
I
dropped the
wasn't
coffee.
white as a sheet.
People
I wasn't
crazy
in the
as hell.
studio the night Pac survived being shot, thank God. From what I understand, Sean and Chris saw Pac at the studio
You out
after
there
he'd
getting
been shot
up
and did
over
nothing. The way
a
God works,
woman's
after being shot,
private
Pac
part.
made it to the elevator
Over
and tried
sex.
to
We're
escape,
getting-
but it
killing
stopped
each
at the
other over
floor
sex.
Sean
This
and
man's
Chris
killing
were
each
on.
other,
When the doors
knocking
opened,
people off
they
over
saw him
sex.
lying on the elevator floor, riddled with bullets. The fact that they didn't call an ambulance, although they saw Pac lying there, swimming in the pool of his own blood, would be all the evidence Pac ever needed. He, of course, placed the hit, and Tupac is a soldier. This is not something that will be unanswered. Tupac didn't do well. He lost a testicle, but he survived. It was orchestrated, and Sean Puffy Combs was the orchestrator. Ooh, I've got some opinions on that, but I'm going to keep going. We're on chapter 7, called Threats. At this point, I knew I had to get away from him, but I was scared. Is he going to take my life?
Jermaine struggled for years with dental issues before finally finding Nubia. Listen to what...
Listen, go ahead and play that little commercial. So yeah, y'all, this is kind of reviewing the book only because, I haven't had a chance. I never got a chance to hear it read straight through for me to form my own opinion. And I feel like this might be beneficial to people, who have disabilities who can't see it or hear it, because you can see it and hear it on my channel. But from somebody that's not trying to give all their whole opinion, they're just trying to read it. Alright, I think we should be about to go back. If you're just joining us, I got the GoFundMe at the bottom and the Cash App. Alright, we're skipping.
Is he gonna take my life if I try to escape? One February evening, I
Escape.
thought I had found
She had to
my
call it
opportunity
escape.
at dinner after an event. We were at a ritzy restaurant in a private booth. It was an exclusive setup. We were alone, but we were in public. Perfect. Sean was on the phone talking to an unknown listener as he sat down. His words on that call will be etched into my mind forever. We're gonna release Who Shot Ya now. He waited for a response, then went on to say, of course they gonna think B.I.G. was talking about pot. That's the whole fucking point. Nobody would give a fuck about this diss track against LL fucking Cool J. Do you know how much money we'll make with this kind of rap beef? Niggas battling after someone really got shot. This may not be the best time for conversation. Sean was finishing up. We drop that shit tomorrow. Listened to the phone and then responded. There's gonna be blood in the streets. Niggas missed. Hawks alive. Let's capitalize on that shit. When he responds, it's gonna mean more money. He turned around and looked at me. Spoke back into the phone. I'll call you back. Then hung up and spoke to me. What's wrong? I tried my best to give a fake smile at what I heard. After all, me and Pac were intimate. I responded, nothing. Sean wasn't fooled. Are you sure? His demeanor was threatening, but I responded as cool as I could muster to his intimidating stare. Yeah, of course. He took my hand, saying, that's wonderful. He began to squeeze my hand until it hurt as he continued. Because seeing you walk in the office while I was talking about killing that motherfucker and you not saying shit to me had me a little concerned. His grip was starting to hurt badly. You're hurting me. As he continued, he squeezed tighter. Your pretending you don't hear anything was a sign of your loyalty to me, not something I should be concerned with, right? I had no choice but to give him the answer he wanted. I knew I was trapped. So I responded, of course I'm loyal to you. He then let me go as he responded, good, and remember, I'm a big dick. I snatched my hand back in pain. He smiled and said, let's start off with a good wine. He snapped his fingers and his favorite wine was poured for him. They knew what Sean wanted, and what he wanted he got. I'm trapped. I have to be strategic. It's going to be hard to leave the glamour, the glitz, the lifestyle. I mean, this man just snapped his fingers in one of the most exclusive restaurants in New York City, and they poured his drink of choice. The bottle of wine is $800, and this is $19.94. This list to get in this.
See what I'm saying? She had to point all this out. You know what I'm saying? Probably not as just a sign of his prowess or his domination or his exclusivity, but as a sign that she had just been hurt by him, kind of in public. And on the low where people can't see or tell, but still, they're at this place. And she didn't know how to get out at this point.
Place is 6 months long, and if you're somebody like Mayor Giuliani has a table here tonight also. If I got up and walked out, I would be safe, but what about tomorrow? He sipped his wine and smiled. You're not drinking? He pointed to my glass, and of course, a waiter filled it. They all knew what I liked as well. Sean has a bad temper. He yells sometimes, and okay, he's roughed me up once or twice, but he never punched me. He never bruised me, and he never hit Quincy. I would not have stood for that. He never laid a hand on my son. At the time, I never thought of him touching Quincy. And anyway, the significance of what he said hit me. Is he mad at Tupac over me? I'm the big dick? Oh my God. The last time he put his hands on me, it was because I enjoyed Jamie Foxx too much. Shit, he enjoyed Jamie too. Who? He gets so insanely jealous. It's not fair. He wants to bring other men into the bedroom, but gets jealous when he does. Damn, you're quiet tonight, he said, snapping at me back into the present. I asked the question that was burning in my mind since I walked into the office. What does Chris think of this? He looked at me coolly and said, his fat ass just better keep doing music. Whoa. A third guest was escorted over by security. Sean motioned for him to sit. A waiter walked over to Sean Carter. And asked, would you like something? Oh, Carter responded, no thank you, then said hello to me with a smile. Smiling, I replied, hey Carter, and took a sip of my drink. The Seans may share a bed together from time to time, but thankfully, I was never asked to join. His nervous laughter like, what am I reading right now? Carter went on to speak to Sean. I thought we were meeting in private. Sean replied with a nonchalant shrug. I had to discuss something with her. It's fine. Go ahead. He wielded this kind of power. Carter shifted uncomfortably in his chair before continuing. It's true. Chris and Pac were about to start their own label. Sean slammed his fist against the table, shouting, Doesn't anyone have any fucking loyalty? Carter, well, that's not what's happening now, right? Sean peered at Carter with distrust. Why the fuck are you eager to share this with me? Chris is your man. Fuck, he brought you on and you're stabbing him in the back? Carter responded with indignity. First, I'm tired of being that nigga's son. I need to come out from under his damn shadow. Sean smiled slightly. Whoa, okay, I respect that. Carter kept going. On top of that, this nigga is making that move, and it should be with me. Sean looked at Carter blankly. Hawk put Chris on. You know this. What's this really all about, Carter? Don't fucking try to play me. The Jay-Z of today wasn't born yet. This young Sean Carter was in over his head. Cornered, he had to spell it out. I want his spot. Ambition. Now this is a man I can work with. Sean made a grandiose gesture towards Carter. Waiter, get this motherfucker whatever he wants. Carter smiled. Thank you. Sean responded. Honesty and ambition. We're gonna make a lot of bread together. Carter ordered a drink. As he stated again, guess he won't be leaving with that nigga to do their own label now. Sean responded with a normal air of arrogance. Why don't you just let me worry about that? I looked at this as my cue to escape. I told Sean, I'm going to go.
When I started drinking warm water to
They're
help
gonna
me
give me
lose
a
weight,
lot of commercials.
my friends laughed
They know
at me.
what I'm up to.
But when they saw how fast I was changing, they started doing it themselves. Apparently, thousands of women are already doing this every night as they sleep by adding one unusual ingredient to a glass of warm water before bed. You've probably heard that as you get older.
I told Sean, I'm going to go ahead and get back to Quincy. Sean was wrapped up in his conversation with Carter and barely noticed it as he excused me. Have the limo drop you off. We didn't eat. He didn't care. I smiled and kissed him on the cheek and left. Oh my gosh. I feel like tightness in my chest. This is, whoa. Alright, Chapter 8, Kadada. Actress, model, and fashion designer Kadada Jones was Tupac Shakur's fiance and the daughter of a record producer Quincy Jones and actress Peggy Lipton. Being around other celebrities was just a part of life. Meeting Kadada was just one of those events, and as time went on, we became close. We hung out together, went shopping, and so on. It was just about the same time that I met Kimora.
That is something that I noticed about the content creators as they was reading this. They couldn't believe what they was reading as they was reading it. So if this is, I guess it's her first time reading it, yeah, she like, what the hell? What the hell I just read? This is a good book. It's a 57-page book, y'all.
Those were the days, or so I thought. We always had girl talk, and the fact that she was dating someone I had previously been with wasn't a source of contention. We didn't get jealous of each other. It was just girl talk stuff. No, I did not become intimate with Kadada. Kimora was too jealous for that. Yes, Kadada knew about Kimora, Sean, and I all being together sexually. Of course she did. We shared that kind of thing. We were open and honest with each other about almost everything. A true friendship, except I couldn't be open and honest about everything. Not anymore. Sean made sure of that. Kadada and Pac were the greatest couple. He was always so cool and yes, sexy. She was so beautiful and fun. Before all the tension and beef, we used to all hang out together, and it was always dope vibes. But Pac's shooting and the suspicions surrounding Sean and Jimmy, the vibes between Kadada and I weren't always perfect. Then came that night. Award shows weren't anything new for us at this point. We were all dolled up and the men groomed. We didn't choose what we wore. A stylist prepared our color palettes, a makeup artist did our makeup, and hairstylist did our hair. That's just the way of things. We shared the best stylist in the business. Sometimes we would all go to the studio for an event to get our measurements taken, but this time Kadada seemed different. I felt like something was wrong. But when I probed, she wouldn't say anything. Then the day of the event was here. We would all see each other inside. Even though Sean was my man, as far as props, I had nothing on Kadada. Being Quincy Jones' daughter had perks, and superstardom was among them. Pac wasn't there. She saw us. She came over to our table. She sat around kicking it in a very dope vibe. Sean knew he was going to clean up in this award show. He had all but taken over the East Coast musically. With all the hits, there really being no way he wouldn't. Bad Boy is a Hall of Fame stuff now, and Sean P. Diddy Combs knew it. Sean smiled at Kadada as she sat at our table, but something about the smile didn't seem authentic. Soon I would know why. He's sick when he has a grudge against someone. As she sat, Sean said, Bad Boy is gonna clean the fuck up. From his table with Faith, Chris replied, Hell yeah. And that new shit we bustin' out gonna have these niggas sick. Kadada signaled for the waiter to pour her glass of ginger ale that sat over at her table. As the waiter refreshed her drink, she said, Pac's music is gonna get some love too. Sean grimaced. Oh, come on, Sean. I know y'all got your differences, but you have to admit, the man makes great music. Sean looked at me, the corner of his eye,
I want to show y'all
then
something.
took another sip of his favorite cognac and replied, Bad Boy got the hottest music on the fucking planet, but I'm tripping. Everybody gotta get their shine, right? Kadada sighed. Sean, Tupac thinks you're involved with him getting shot. You two were so close. You need to make this right. Sean responded indignantly. Why the fuck would that nigga think I had anything to do with it? Kadada retorted. Sean, can you blame him? Sean was obviously not happy with the question by his reply. Hell yeah, I blame him. We had a good thing going. All of us. That nigga turned on me and he has a fucking balls to blame me for his shooting? The indignity he mangled to spew out while lying through his teeth was something I did not expect. I was thrown back for a moment before interjecting. Da, do we have to have this tonight? It's Sean's big night. Kamora heard the ruckus and made her way over to our table as well. She sat down and said, Hey everybody, with that big dimpled smile. I smiled and replied, Hey. Kadada also seemed happy to see her as well. She said, Hey, what's up, Kimmy? Kamora's never the type to hold her tongue went straight at it. The whole place is buzzing with the fact that you're sitting over here accusing Sean of having pot shot. Y'all kinda loud. She laughed. Kadada seemed embarrassed as she looked around to see everybody staring and whispering. But she wasn't about to back off. In fact, she doubled down. Anybody here not talking about it ain't real anyway. We all know Sean was behind it. Kamora forced a smile. Honey, we don't have to do this
Y'all
here.
see this?
Kadada made clear that she was not going to be silenced as she
I need
continued.
to
Oh,
stop.
let's not hurt the feelings of Sean Puffy Combs. He only had one.
Now, this is why I think people are under threat. Okay? Now, I realize as a lawyer and just as a civilian, you know, if you're a good hearted person, you want to keep this fair. But me, I want to keep this about the kids. For real. If this has to do with what is rumored, it has to do
So you
with.
think you know Wicks? Do
I
you
would
really?
not ever. I would not. I would not ever worry about these adults and how the fuck they feel about something. This look. I want you to see the young lady's title on her video because I'm just gonna have a commentary about the title alone. I'm just going to comment on the title. The title says, Diddy Court Hearing Summary. Was it fair? Now, I'm going to tell you once again that up until the time that they started sending these private investigators out to the content creators' homes, up until that time, everybody was totally against, like everybody was almost convinced that this man was a piece of trash and whatever the fuck this justice system was going to do to him, they were okay with that. Once private investigators started to be sent around to their homes, they all got real iffy. They had like a 6 or 9 panel little video live, I believe, about each other. I mean, about everybody talking about it. You know what I'm saying? And this was after the content creators. After the private investigators went around to the content creators. What also happened at that time is the blow up of Jaguar Wright against Lamisha Fuller, Adria, and Courtney Burgess. And Todd, what's Chris Todd? But Chris Todd, and it all looked like leveled shit, meaning it all looked like they were all part of the same group, but they represented different levels. Lamisha Fuller and Adria were bottom level. They were, fish food for these guys. You know what I'm saying? But like Chris Todd wasn't gonna have Jaguar going off on him like that. He stayed. He got in and got out. He said what he had to say, dropped and got out. And he got it with another egomaniac on their channel, and that's who let him talk the most. Because when the egomaniacs talk to egomaniacs, they have one great conversation about being egomaniacs. This is all a matter of perspective. I see and hear perspective in this story, just like I see and hear perspective. Hold on. So this is the title that I'm talking about right here. She's a good content creator. I hope that she is doing this for the purpose of like her perspective. But the title says a lot. Because the title says that it says, was it fair? Is it fair, hypothetically, if this is being done to people? Is it fair that it's being done? Is it fair that somebody puts something in your baby oil and you don't know, in your drink that you don't know? Go over to Rotten Mango and watch their video about the water and how over in one of the Asian countries they were putting shit in people's water. Now, I want to address the Asian country thing too. Because here's another video, y'all. You got to understand what time we live in right now. Here's another video. Okay? That I would want to say something about. And this is one of my favorite content creators too. But I need you to understand the play. See, we are always easily distracted. Because I've been wanting to address this. You got to understand when it's playtime and when it's not playtime. And right now, I don't think we're in playtime. I don't think there's any room for anybody to be playing right now. Most thing you don't want to play with is your finances. You might need every dime in order to survive this. Right now is not time for Hermes. Because Hermes don't got nothing to do with protecting you against the digital protection grid. It just doesn't. Hermes doesn't have anything to do with that. Gucci ain't got nothing to do with you feeding your kids. The only thing you need to be buying from China is survival products. And you'll be lucky if they get here, because here's another one of the stories. I'm gonna let her cook a minute. And I said in my first, see, this is a distraction. I want to keep. Let me remind y'all that one of the reasons why we're in this is because people who are from countries who make this, okay, that's their country of origin, I think. Even though they could have been birthed over here, I'm not sure. But this might be the country that we think that people who look like them would come from. Those people and people who are currently running the administration and taking all of our monuments down, those people and those people got together and decided that we should not be able to attend school under a preference, because we have, we've been having a hard time. So somebody made an accommodation for us to get into school so we could, because obviously nobody would have had to make a concession about us being able to get into school if we were able to get into schools. You don't go and create something when there's no need. So there was obviously a disparity. somebody went and made something so we could also, be inclusive. And then the people who make these products went and got with the people who um, are hating on us from birth, from the cradle, and still want us to see they like us to be consumers, but they don't ever want us to be owners and buyers. So this is appealing to you as a consumer. What we need is empowerment to be owners, okay? Owners. We need to be owners. And nothing about buying your Hermes, your Dior, and all these brand names is going to make you an owner. It'll make you look like the tightest consumer on the battlefield. On the digital, you are going to look cute, girl, while you are being attacked by the digital protection grid. As far as you know, this could even be some kind of ruse to make sure that you end up part of the digital protection grid. It really could. You never know. Because you got to purchase, and that thing that you purchase with is on the digital protection grid. It's part of it. You don't know. You just don't know, guys. You got to be careful, and you got to spend your money wisely right now. You should be buying things that empower you not to use a lot of electricity, so that if something happens to the electric, you can still, you'll be okay. You're going to need things that are going to help you and your family eat. Think of your children. You are going to have things to help you and your children move around, stay protected. Okay, you're going to need these things. So buying a Dior right now, the reason why they on sale is because it's the apocalypse, y'all. It's the motherfucking apocalypse. And it's on sale because everybody needs the little bit of money. And then it's a ruse too, because if somebody can get you to buy that, and don't get me wrong, I might be the only one that ain't gonna be cute, okay? But I'm thinking more about survival, and it just seems a little weird to me that a people that wouldn't let us know about buying and selling hair, that only wanted us to be consumers in the hair game because we are the biggest purchasers of it. You got to look at that documentary Chris Rock did about bad hair or something like that. I don't know exactly what it was called, but I know what it was about. It was about all them countries, like the ones that are selling us this stuff, didn't want us, and the ones that their homies or whatever did not want us in the hair game. Why a few years back was India and China fighting? They had a fist fight on a mountain. Why did they fist fight? I want to know what that fight was about. But anyway, okay, I'm going to get back to the Ken Porter book. I just wanted to say, be careful. You got to listen to your corner and watch for the hood. Do not get dragged into things that this is just going to make you have less money to save yourself, your family, and your children. Our jobs is being taken away. Our monuments is being taken away. And you have to understand that we're being attacked on a financial level. And let's say if we were armies, like in that game Risk I used to play, the first thing you want to do is you want to drain your army's resources. How do you do that? Threaten their housing, take their jobs, and now the money that you have in savings, they're trying to get you to spend it on Dior. You better get the Dior battle bag, bitch. Get the Dior battle bag, honey. Because you are going to freaking need it. And that's all I got to say on that one. We're going to pause that one, get back to the book for a moment. Thank you for joining my ADHD podcast. I really appreciate you being here.
One of the most prolific rappers in the game shot. Sean clenched his hands into a fist. If this was anyone else, this would have turned ugly. But this was Quincy Jones's daughter. Sean was a monster in the streets, well feared by men that he knew, but he did not want any of the smoke Quincy Jones could bring. Kadada could continue with impunity. Sean could not touch her. Christopher.
Everybody want to be a monster in the streets. Now we got a whole bunch of monsters in the streets. You've been set up. You know what the woo was? The woo. I always call it, my friend called it set up for the woo. I just started using her word. You've been set up for the woo. The woo is the woo. The woo, woo. You've been set up for the woo your whole life. We have. And we fell for it. We really didn't have much of a choice. Somebody put some in our water, our baby oil, our wine. Okay? We've been set up for the woo. And what I mean by that is this guy has been supported by agencies to do what he's done to our community. He has been involved in guns, drugs, and the trafficking of humans. He has hurt people and he has unalived people. And that entire time, he has been supported by agencies that now are supposed to give him a fair trial and hold him responsible for what they supported him doing. You know what I think about the pilfering of our departments? Take a look at those departments. I think that it is exposing people who have been in hiding. The people who have been in hiding are victims of people like him and Epstein and Weinstein. Because in Catherine Austin Fitz's speech, she mentioned how these people who have been given these clearances, they know how to unalive people. You have to think about this. We've been set up for the woo. I think that our people who have been let over here, I think you got set up for the woo too. Whoever let you over here, like let you out of prison to come over here, and all of you that was going up to apartments. That thing about the apartments, you ain't heard it. Well, maybe that's because. Here's the question. This seems to have started around Trinidad, and that supposedly they was doing that in Texas. Is that who we have removed from the country, or did we remove people that were students and people that was upstanding community citizens? Or did we remove Trinidad? Who did did they get any Trinidad people? And, I've never been more proud in my life not to have a tattoo. I don't know why I never got it. I'm quite sure it's because I'm a punk ass. But I had symbols that I was thinking about getting. You know what I'm saying? Like from my mom. But damn, if you are interpreting the Alzheimer's, tattoo as something else, and you got these stupid agents that obviously the company that I mentioned in my other video a couple days ago, the company that was mentioning that, I don't think they have maybe they don't got a good set of records. If you think that the Alzheimer's tattoo is also some sort of gang tattoo. And this is the agency that's responsible for instituting the digital protection grid. And they think, and they're not admitting to mistakes. They're taking people anyway. What kind of people are these? First, yesterday they were saying, when I started saying, that these are people that are telling on people, it seems personal. It seems like of the people that supported this guy, his real core team, they have a hotline that they can call the phone number up and say, you know what, this person did this, and they just coming to get them without thought, without question. They coming right away. That's what it looks like to me. I don't know if these people have been on a watch list. From a video that I saw yesterday, it seems like that's how it's happening, and that's very sad because basically that leaves room for personal favor. I'm in your group, or I went to your golf club, or I'm a rich person and I think that this person is a problem, and actually they bumped into me while I was shopping, and I want you to get them out of here. Yesterday's incident that was in PA that I kept trying to reference, I think it was where that man was in a truck and he was talking to them people, and he told them to get out of here, you have N-word. And my thing was, I think when they talk out loud, especially when they're upset, I think they represent a global thought. And so my thing is, they think they're half N-words, and they're putting them in El Salvadorian prisons. Honestly, without much thought, without any due process, which our government does give to everyone. And the Ukrainian lady, she don't even know how our government works, and she is a senator. How did she get there? See, we done let them buy their seats all the time. They are a corrupt. I think we have corruption in our halls of justice, in our halls of legislator, in the executive branch. I think we have some injustice. I think we have some no good people up there. It's just my personal opinion because this does not seem like something that is new. This is not something that's new. People have known about this. This is a carefully implemented plan. The skeleton for this plan has already been set in place. It seems like for quite some time. So that's why if you just are seeing this, see, I talked to somebody the other day and said, if the person in the pulpit isn't addressing how to protect yourself in this circumstance, doesn't understand that we are in a state of emergency as a people, then he needs to get the hell out of his pulpit because you are doing a disservice to the people because something is going on. And if you can't address it in our churches and try to help your congregation, then you are no better than any of these politicians because they are not helping their constituents try to help it save themselves either. Ohio is a Northwest Territory state, and they honestly seem like the SS to me right now. So a while back it came out that in Ohio they had like kindergarten programs where they were teaching a Yahtzee. They were teaching a Yahtzee instructional format. And then I didn't think nothing about it, but now I'm like, oh yeah. Well, I guess if they teaching their kids in a school type environment about Yahtzeeism, then can you imagine how? Because it didn't come out about Massachusetts was doing that. I hear Oklahoma was doing that. Ohio was doing it. That means you got a lot of Yahtzees here. I'm sorry, y'all. I don't know what happened there. Oh, yeah. My bad. Alright, well, I'm gonna bring it to a close just to get it an even clip because also this has to be processed and I need it to chop up right. So you can go ahead and finish listening to the book if I'm gonna finish listening to it and I'm going to, if something stands out, I'll come back, but other than that, I'm done with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm done with it. You should check out her reading because it's important. It was important for me to hear it uninterrupted because I didn't know some of these things, and that means some of the content creators that was reading, I was either because I think I read I listened to a couple different people try to read it, and some people's breathing patterns is just too much for me, and I can imagine I'm a lot for them too. But this is my ADHD channel. They had their channel already. It's all good. You know what I'm saying? All right, everyone. Have a great Sunday. I'll probably be back on later live. I'm just doing live because I can. That's all. I'm just going live because I can. And because I want to promote my music. And it's always good. It's Easter. If you have Easter tracks, feel free to send them through. Let it have them. I have a podcast too. So my podcast is icebeats.podomatic.com. Let me just add that here. I'm gonna make an outro video, but I haven't had time. My stuff is always crashing. I'm always up and down, and I'm sorry. It's just how my life is. You know what I'm saying? I'm not apologizing for life, but I wish I could present it to you in a better way. This is just the best I can do right now. Man, that lady's scary. I'm on Amazon. Alright, so this is just a little bit for you. If you want to look me up online for music, feel free. Hold on, I wanted to play this one song I had made because I haven't played this one yet. And I really liked it, but it was scary. Like, this is how scary I am. Like, I wouldn't play it because I kept going through over icy bridges. Like, Pittsburgh scares the shit out of me, man. Like, oh goodness. It has just way too many bridges for my nerves. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh goodness. Like, didn't y'all watch Saturday Night Fever? Like, y'all got too many damn bridges. Alright, this is my closeout. This was a song that I could never listen to while I was in Pittsburgh.
I'm walking on this icy bridge. The cold bites deep, it don't forgive. Every step feels like my last. Memories of you, they hit so fast. You were my light and endless dark. The only one who healed my scars. But now you're gone and I'm alone. Lost in a world that's turned to stone. You were my home, my only way. Now all I see is shades of gray. Dreams we built are out of reach. Frozen under this cold, cruel breeze. I'm standing on icy bridges where the love we had still lingers. The frost burns through my aching soul. Without you here, I've lost control. Between this family of babies cry. Now all I want is to say goodbye. These icy bridges call my name. Love the fire that floats my flame. I see your face in every star, but none of them can touch my heart. You were the first thing to feel so right. Now every day is endless night. We plan a future, kids and more, but that dream shattered on the floor. I give it all to hold your hand, but I'm sinking deep in this frozen land. You were my choice, my only prayer. Now the winter wind is all that's there. Every promise we made feels lost, carved in ice, but at what cost? I'm standing on icy bridges where the love we had still lingers. The frost burns through my aching soul. Without you here, I've lost control. Between the family of babies cry. Now all I want is to say goodbye. These icy bridges call my name. Lost the fire that froze my flame. I was nothing before you came. A shadow lost in endless pain. You were the spark, the flame, the light. The first thing ever to feel so right. Now I'm shattered just a ghost, clinging to dreams that hurt the most. If I could trade my life for yours, I'd cross the ice and I'd endure. But without you, I'm just a shell, a lonely heart in a frozen hell. I'm standing on icy bridges where the love we have still lingers. The frost burns through my aching soul. Without you here, I've lost control. Between the family of babies cry. Now all I want is to say goodbye. These icy bridges call my name. Love the fire that froze my flame. The ice is cracking under my feet. Your love's the one I'll never need. If I could turn back time, I'd try. But all that's left is this frozen sky. I'll let the icy bridges take me home, a place where I'll no longer feel alone.
Alright, y'all. Thanks for listening, and have a great Easter Sunday. The beats don't stop, y'all. The beats don't stop. And neither should we. You took my mom away from me.